Our next speaker is a Family and Children's Services Behavioral Health Case Manager. Here's an interesting fact. She is a huge Garth Brooks fan. She's been to 3 of his concerts, once at the beginning of his fame, once during his farewell tour, and once during his most recent tour, which I guess was the post-farewell tour, the comeback tour, if you will. She has his and Trish's autographs, all of his CDs, and a DVD of his early music videos. I don't know if you have any VHS or Laserdiscs in there too. You guys here to talk to you about mental illness is not selective. Give it up for Deborah Hunter.
I bet that was a surprise, right? Well, I'm the case manager here in the libraries. I work for Family and Children's Services, but I am embedded in the libraries. There's a grant, a partnership between Family and Children's Services and the libraries. I have a daughter who has schizophrenia. I have 3 daughters. This is my baby, and she's the one who has schizophrenia. Mental illness doesn't choose you because of race or the gender or your economic status or your social status. It is not selective. My daughter, the youngest of 3, has, the Break the Stigma, the one, I forgot I had that one in there. Break the Stigma is, the reason I talk about my daughter is because I want to break the stigma. People don't have any idea of what mental illness really involves and what it's like. And that my daughter was normal. She went to school, she had 2 older sisters, they played together, they worked together, they sang together, she was in the show choir. And typical teenage girl, you know, sometimes we had it out because she would get a little sassy sometimes. But this is my daughter. She's a human being. She had a genius IQ. She planned to be an electrical engineer. She went to her prom. She went to college and came back at the end of her freshman year with full-blown schizophrenia, hallucinations, and all that entails. Schizophrenia has multiple causes. There's not any one thing that causes it. So I decided that when my daughter came home and I found out what her diagnosis was, I was going to cure her. So I did everything I could to learn about mental illness. I took a 12-week course with NAMI. I took every course that was offered free by every local, state, and federal mental health organization. I acquired 80 credit hours going toward no degree because I was going to save my daughter. That was not a fact that happened. It didn't happen for her. So we have 1/2 of all chronic mental illness begins by age 14, 75% by the age of 24. The average onset of schizophrenia is between the ages of 16 and 25. The causes are biological, because it has to do with genetics, plus environment, plus things that are happening in the brain, and the structure of the brain itself. 42.5 million American adults have schizophrenia, have a mental illness. And schizophrenia is not as rare as you might think. There's a 1 in 100 chance in a lifetime of having schizophrenia. And you can see myths there and facts about schizophrenia. My daughter, even with me supporting her, doing everything that I could to help her, still wound up homeless for 2 years, addicted to drugs, and has been in and out of the hospital and residential care and group homes most of her adult life. So when I decided to do what I do, it was as a result of everything that I had learned and all the things that I had been doing to support her and to advocate for her. And I decided, well, if all of this could happen to her with me there, what about people who don't have anyone to support them? And so that's what led me to doing the job that I do now. I went back to school, finished my degree as part of my Superwoman years, and became a mental health case manager. And so some of the names that you're seeing scrolling are people that you may not have known have mental illnesses and had mental illnesses. That's my daughter again. That's what she was like before she became ill. And my daughter is a human being. The people that you see on the streets with mental illnesses could be your daughter, your granddaughter, your next door neighbor. And so I wanted to leave this with you, that mental illness is not selective. It can happen to anyone. Thank you.